How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Countdown video. We only have 40 days left until the game's release on December 7th, and today I'm coming at you with a new trademark that was recently announced, some more evidence of the banner leak, and an interesting photo that appeared at a Nintendo event. As always, and we cannot stress this enough, we have no idea if this evidence proves anything, but it is still fun to talk about, so make sure you still take it with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you'd like to read along while I talk, you find a link to all of the original posts in the description bar down below, and now with all that out of the way, I have one thing I need to tell you guys. So in terms of where this stuff comes from, the first thing that we're going to be taking a look at is a new trademark, and it comes from a website called segmentnext.com. The next thing that we're going to be taking a look at is actually a picture on the banner leak that we overlooked, and it comes from GameFAQs. And the final thing we're going to be taking a look at is a picture of something at a official Nintendo event. So now that you guys know where all of this came from, if you want to leave the video, go ahead and do so now. Otherwise, let's go check out the brand new trademark. So like I said, the first thing that we are going to be talking about is a brand new trademark from Nintendo, and I think it's going to make a lot of you guys happy. So as you can see on screen right now, the title of this article is Banjo-Kazooie's trademark renewed for Nintendo Switch. It starts by saying, the classic franchise that started off on the Nintendo 64, Banjo-Kazooie, recently had its license renewed by Nintendo of America. Now, while this could just be a minor change with the company simply wanting to perhaps use their music or sell merchandise, it could also mean something big for fans of the retro era series. What are the possible reasons for this renewal? The most popular and my personal favorite theory connects to the story to the upcoming Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate is the latest installment in the beloved Smash Bros. Series, which is set to release for the Nintendo Switch this December. While Smash Ultimate has made its main selling point to be every single character from the past games returning, the series is famous for introducing a few new guest characters to the roster. Could the new renewal mean that perhaps this time around we might see Banjo-Kazooie join the Ultimate crossover? To add more to this theory, a supposed leak of the game's roster was revealed recently. The leak included a lot of believable character picks, such as Mach T from the F-Zero series as a Captain Falcon Echo, or Shadow the Hedgehog as a Sonic Echo. The one important to this topic, however, was our buddy Banjo-Kazooie being in the leak. Now, while the authenticity of this revelation can be questioned, the trademark renewal adds more weight to it, because this can't just be a coincidence, right? Questions will be answered this December when Smash Ultimate releases for the Switch worldwide. Another theory gaining traction surrounds rumors of the upcoming Nintendo 64 Classic, which is believed to be on the way because of the success in the wake of the NES Classic and SNES Classic. Assuming this is the case, of course, Nintendo would want to bring Banjo-Kazooie back with the retro console, for both old players to relive their nostalgia or new ones to catch up on what they missed out. Of course, as I said before, the renewal could simply just mean Nintendo wanted to associate itself as a party within its past. And that again, maybe, there's a newfound use for their music or an impending merchandise line. Fingers crossed for Smash though, and even more for reliving the classic title on the NES Classic, assuming it's on the way. So now that we've gone over this entire post, let's talk about it. So before we start talking about Banjo-Kazooie, I do think it's extremely important for me to tell you guys one mistake that this post made. So this post claims that Mach T is from the F-Zero series and he is going to be a Captain Falcon Echo, when in reality, the character on the banner is actually Mach Rider and he's from his own game. And just because he's a racer, that does not mean that he's going to be a Captain Falcon Echo. Most likely, he is going to be primarily on his motorcycle when he fights. So for those of you guys who don't know, them trademarking Banjo-Kazooie, even though they're owned by Rare, which is owned by Microsoft, is a huge deal. No matter what way you look at it, there is definitely going to be some kind of Banjo-Kazooie representation coming to the Nintendo franchise. Now, it could be that they are getting added onto the Nintendo 64 Classic, which personally I do believe, just because Banjo-Kazooie is a game that a lot of people really love, and I think that if Banjo-Kazooie does make it into Smash, then there's a very high possibility that it's going to drive up the sales of the Nintendo 64 Classic, just because a lot of people, if they see them in Smash, they're going to want to play their original game. Personally, that's how I feel right now because I've never played the original Banjo-Kazooie, which is why I don't have a super tight attachment to it. But I think it's going to drive the sales of the Nintendo 64 Classic because Banjo-Kazooie is going to be in the game and people are going to wonder where he came from. So what do I believe that this trademark means? Obviously, I believe that it means that Banjo-Kazooie are coming to Smash. Now, I'm also not going to doubt that they're also coming to the Nintendo 64 Classic, but just the fact that they trademarked Banjo-Kazooie does have a huge meaning behind it, and I think this gives even more credibility to the original banner leak. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the character we actually overlooked in the Super Smash Bros. Banner leak. So as you guys know, ever since the supposed Grinch leak banner photo came out, everybody and their mother has been trying to debunk it, looking for every inconsistency they can find, and just looking for everything that could make this not credible. Well, while they were doing that, they actually discovered another character that was hidden on the banner that everyone at first overlooked. The character I'm referring to in this instance is actually Skull Kid. If this is true, that means we are going to be getting a total of 8 characters. So let me explain a little bit about how we know that Skull Kid is on the banner. Now, obviously, I want to give credit where credit is due, so if you guys want to go take a look at the full post on 4chan where every single person was trying to argue over this and trying to debunk it or confirm it, you can take a look at it. It's going to be in my description bar down below, and I highly recommend you go check out all of their arguments. That's actually where I found all of these pictures which try to prove that Skull Kid is in. So the first picture we're going to take a look at is actually a picture of Skull Kid with the light enhanced, and it looks like it was edited just a little bit. Now, as we can see, all of the other characters look really good, they're not blurry at all, but then we see Mach Rider and Skull Kid sitting right under him. It looks like Skull Kid is sitting in a kind of cross-legged position, and my first worry about this picture is where is Skull Kid's hat? However, we don't have a super clear picture yet, so we have no idea if he is wearing his hat or not, but if Skull Kid makes it in, he has to wear his hat. Everyone knows that that's an integral part of Skull Kid's character, so that is a red flag for me. However, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this photo looks extremely good, and once again, I'm not doubting its credibility. I feel like 7 is a very good number of final characters to get, and trust me, I'm not complaining at all. I'm extremely excited for the 7 we already got, but if we got 8, including another Zelda character that isn't a part of the main Triforce hero, I would be extremely happy. The next picture we're going to take a look at is once again another photo trying to prove it, so it looks like this picture's a little bit darker. As we can see Mach Rider with Skull Kid once again sitting right under him. If you look to the right of Skull Kid's head, you can clearly see Mach Rider's tire, so we do know that this is not a part of his bike. So that probably is Skull Kid sitting down there. All we can see right there is Skull Kid's mask, but if you squint and look really hard, you can actually see the little spikes coming off of it, and his eyes look really lit up, which I believe gives this even more credibility, and I don't think that this is the bike, and I do instead think that this is a new character in Skull Kid. And then the final picture I wanted to take a look at is pretty crudely drawn, but overall I think it was funny, and I wanted to take a look at it anyway because it does give the outline of what Mach Rider and Skull Kid are probably going to have. So as you can see on screen right now, ignore the faces and the bodies because I'll admit they do look kind of dumb, but you can see the outline of both of these characters. So someone took the time to go over this with a red pen so we could see every single part of the detail that is on this banner photo. So right away, this does add even more credibility for me because we see that Skull Kid could totally fit right by Mach Rider. I don't think Mach Rider is trying to do a wheelie or anything, so this could probably be a part of his engine, but at the same time, I think that all of the evidence is there, and this is actually Skull Kid sitting there, and I think that this probably confirms Skull Kid to be in Smash Ultimate. And the final piece of evidence I want to take a look at, once again, is from this post, and as you can see, we actually see Skull Kid's fairy that travels around with him. So in the original photo, we see that there's no fairy there, and it's just the Inkling. However, when we look at the bottom photo, we can actually see in the place that's circled with red that there is a new purple dot there symbolizing Skull Kid's second fairy. I believe it's not Tattle, it's I don't remember the other one's name, but it's the purple fairy. So I think that that's really interesting because we know that Skull Kid travels around with a purple and white fairy, so this definitely gives him some more credibility. That is definitely a fairy down there. And the final thing I wanted to talk about actually comes from an official Nintendo event in London. So as you guys can clearly see on the table right now, we see posters for the Grinch sitting right by a Nintendo employee. So from the rumors I've heard, apparently Nintendo and the Grinch have teamed up in some way, which adds even more credibility to the Grinch leak or the banner leak or whatever you want to call it, as we saw that the Grinch stuff was getting printed alongside the Smash Ultimate stuff. So at this point, I think it's basically guaranteed. However, let me know what you guys think about everything I've talked about today in the comment section down below. Do you believe that Skull Kid's going to be in Smash, and would you be happy if he was? Why or why not? Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.